crafty friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome back into the studio. I want to say hello to all my subscribers and anybody tuning in. If you find this video to be of your liking, you may want to consider subscribing. My name's DJ and this is the studio. And today we're going to work on our December Folio project. If you are new here, then you might not know, but this is a free kit you can get throughout the month of December. All the details are in the description box below. Just open that. There's a link in there and you can go get your free kit. It's a huge kit. And there's a couple of videos before this one as to how we got to this point so that you can make one along with us. And the purpose of this folio was kind of to be, you know, a place to plan or take notes for the new year, 2025. You know, use it as a planning journal. Just write down ideas, or you can use it as a journal, you know, up to you, whatever you want to do. There is a journal inside here, a little mini one here. Got my heat kicking on because it's frigid here today. But yeah, there's a little journal in here, and then there's a flip up, and there's a pocket here, and just some pretty flowers. And I give you a couple of design options. So again, if you didn't see the previous videos, go back and watch them and see how we got to this point. I do have to apologize. I'm a little under the weather, so my voice is very hoarse. I'm a little sniffly and yeah, so I'll try to edit out any coughing, but the sniffles, I can't. You know, I'm talking and I'm heating up, and so just I apologize in advance for that. But here we are. We're gonna create and craft together. And like I said, we got to this point where we have our little mini journal inside, and you could make this as big or as small as you want. I did some sewing around some of my pieces, and then we have this pretty flip, and we have our pocket here. Now, in the last video, I said I wanted to try to laminate these cards that I gave you as your extra for the kit. These aren't them. This one here. This one I made into a receipts folder. So these just fold in half. Here's the sheet. They come with some tabs as well, and then you just cut it out and fold it in half. So one side is the design and one side is like a list. So I made this one into a side pocket, which I have effectively tried to glue together. And I figured I could stash some receipts in there each month and just, you know, kind of write down some expenses. Be a cute little receipt holder. Of course, it would get bulky for this, so my intention is to then just take my receipts out each month and put them in another place, and then keep the current month in here. So that's that. These are just some tags. So these have many uses, and I gave you a bunch of ephemera in this kit. And you know, you can write some little notes, something you might want to remember throughout the year. You could use these as gift tags if you have, you know, something coming up, a birthday, and you need a little tag, or you know, you just want to embellish a journal or something, you can use them. And then I did say I wanted to try to laminate some, and I did, and it was quite effective. And it's to use with a dry erase marker. So I thought, like, these could become reusable cards then. I have a very thick Expo marker set, dry erase, because I write really big on, I have a magnetic dry erase board over to my left. And so because of my eyesight, I write rather large. They do make these with a thinner tip, and I think that would be more effective in this space, but it does work. And I just put some nonsense here, but you could see that these then, once you laminate them, they become reusable. And I figured that would be fun each month, you know, things to do, TTD, or, you know, my video ideas or whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to demonstrate that. This one I put through the laminator, and I don't know if you can tell, I got a lot of reflection from my ring light, but there's some glitter in here that is super fun. So I just threw that on top when I was running it through. It's inside the laminating sheet, but yeah, so those are fun. I thought those are great, and they just fit perfectly in this pocket. All of these cards. So, and then I gave you some like journaling style cards too, so they can go in here as well. And you can have as few or as many as you want in this pocket, or you don't have to have any. Okay, I do have a big space here, so I cut out some things that I thought would be fun to kind of put here. Since this is my planning journal, I'm going to, or folio, I thought I would glue these down here. So I cut them out. These are part of the kit, and I just figured I'd use them as a decoration. You know, there's a lot of ability in this kit to make it your own. You can do as little or as much as you want and make it, you know, how you want it. You all have different taste. I love these red amaryllis. They're gorgeous. And again, these are paper whites, snowdrops. I tried to do the flowers of winter. And I just think this kit came out gorgeous. And so we'll put that like there. A little cup of tea, which I've been sipping on today. Clear my throat a little. All right. So now we have, I thought we'd maybe put some of these tabs on some of the pages. You can kind of get a feel for that. I know I have a few of them, so let me grab them all. So some of these have to be inked. Sorry for my arm. My desk setup is a little different. I got a new desk. It's one of those standing desks, so I can raise and lower it so that I can work at different heights. And so I just put it down a little so we can, but I have to reach now because a lot of my supplies that were like kind of right here are a little further off. So you'll see me reaching. Consider this my blanket excuse me for every time I have to reach into your view. My heat just keeps kicking on because it was 13 degrees when I woke up this morning and it is chilly. So I don't know, I just kind of thought these would be fun to kind of make in a, maybe have them as the start of each month or whatever, and I don't know, just have them stand out on the page. So let me see how this one might look here instead. Hope everybody's doing good, having a good December. I'm trying out this Barely Art Glue. To see how it stands up against my art glitter glue mix. I do like my own mix because I'm always clogging the bottle. I'm not finding that this doesn't clog, and that's my fault. I'm constantly keeping it open because that's how I work. But I'm just seeing how I like it. Yeah, so I thought, like, you know, I would leave a few pages for each month. So we got a nice image there. Maybe I'll make this the next one. And I would imagine that the way this is going to work is I am not going to get 12 months in here. So maybe I'll do like a quarter for each of this. So we'll go here. Yeah, so if you are a fan of the Barely Art, let me know in the comments. And if you have another favorite, let me know. You know, mine has been an art glitter glue PVA mix, and it was just my own 50-50 mix, like 50 PVA glue, 50 art glitter glue, and a little water, just so it wouldn't clog so often in the day-to-day use. And it has worked out pretty well for me. Ooh, I love this page. It's kind of cut off, but that's okay. So maybe we'll go here with the next one. What didn't I use? I didn't use these yet. Actually, let's use this one. And all of this does come with the kit, so you get all these. This is from the extra that comes after you download the kit, and the main kit, and then you get this extra, which includes all these tabs and the task lists that I just showed you. Yeah, so I think a quarter is a good. So January, February, March, and April will be in my first setup, and then I can reprint and do the rest of, then I could do quarter 2. This one. And then maybe save these once they're all completed, and I can sew them into kind of a keepsake journal for that quarter. I don't know. It'll go about. Look how pretty. Maybe we'll start over here. And then I'll just leave some room in the back for miscellaneous stuff and pretty pictures of flowers. Yeah, so if you're watching this and it is still December 2024, go get your free kit. Who doesn't love free, right? And then you can craft along with us. Okay. So that's fun. Maybe we still have some more tabs, so maybe we'll make like a little pocket to kind of keep these in. So when I get to the next quarter, or maybe I will just maybe pick out an area where I'm going to start some additional information. So like this will be kind of, I don't know, you'll probably set up yours the way that you want it, but I'm imagining this as like maybe some ideas I have. I love to write down Instagram and TikTok and YouTubes that I love to revisit, because even though I subscribe to them, sometimes, you know, the algorithm kicks them out of your feed, but you want to remember to go back. Or if there's Etsy shops that I love to revisit, I might make a note of them in here. And then also just keep track of maybe some ideas I had throughout the month. Or if I saw something that is worthy of recording, then I would put that in here. Maybe I have a cool quote that I saw, or I don't know, a piece of kind of like a design I saw that I want to make a little mood board in here about, something like that. I thought that would be fun. So I'll just like make this to mark the back where I would keep track of all that stuff. And like I said, you know, you might want to do like maybe a meal planner or a list of birthdays, just some ideas of things that you could do. A little address book. You could put your passwords in it if you feel inclined to do so, though I would guard that with my life then. But, you know, you decide. All right. So let's make a little envelope to, do I have one in here? I don't think so. I don't think I gave you guys like an envelope, but we can make one. So we're not going to use that one. And you could just use stuff from your stash too. This was the other part of the folio, so I gave you some options. This was part of that. Okay, so I envision this to be kind of something that I could use to maybe also keep some of the ephemera in. And what I'm thinking is I want it to be floating. I don't want it to be permanently stationary. And I thought maybe I could use like one of these really pretty pictures and then put a piece of vellum over it. And that way I wouldn't lose the image, but I would have a little storage place to kind of store some of this stuff. And I'm thinking on the fly here, so it's not perfected. I need it to fit in this space, so I am going to lose some of these flowers. I wonder if there's one that might be where we lose less. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think either way we're gonna lose some of it, but that's all right. It's all right. We can always reprint them for another project. And there's so much paper in here. in this kit that, you know, it's not a big deal. There's nothing on the back of this. I'm just trying to think, like, how do I want this so I can get the most use out of it? So I think I'm just going to cut off a hair more here. Like I said, I'm going to lose some of the flower. It's fine. We'll still see the majority of it. And then maybe about here. Do I want to cut it or do I want to fold it? Well, I have to cut the bottom, so I'm thinking if I fold it, right, then I can get some extra real estate on the back or the inside, and then put the vellum over the top and have a pocket in the front here. And if I do that, then I might want to like leave a little extra on the bottom so that I can fold it up and kind of make it a gusseted kind of pocket. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll figure out where I'm gonna fold it. Probably around there. I saw you on my desk somewhere. All right, and so I think I'm just gonna cut a hair bigger here so I can gusset this side, make a little flap. And if you want to know the measurements on what I'm working with, which is probably not going to be an exact number, but so this piece of paper ended up being about 8 and 14, 8 3/4. Let's just go with that. 8 3/4, and that includes my flap, and then probably go around here. This way it is about 6 5/8, but I only need the tab on one side, so let me just score this at about 1/4 of an inch maybe. And actually I can just do this and come up to my line like that, because I'm going to do this and then this will become my flap. Does that make sense? I hope. It will in a sec. Let's move this guy out of the way. So I'm just going to cut this on an angle. And then I didn't fold that very well, did I? No, I did not. Okay, and then this will be, I'm going to use a scoring board for this because I just don't trust myself to line this up well. And I'll use this. And let me just find a point. All right, I just got to pull this closer to me. The glare is making it impossible to see what I'm doing. Just want to score on these tabs. And then fold this up and in, and that will give me some room there to kind of put some stuff in. But, yeah, maybe the bigger stuff. It's not really, there's not really too much big stuff, but maybe some of those extra cards and things like that. And then on the front here in the vellum, and maybe even on the back here, I'll add some vellum, and then we can put these little things in it. That sounds good, right? But we need a little notch. We need it, how do I want it? I think I'm gonna go through both. And a lot of people ask me about this when I use it. So this and this came together as a set. It's actually an envelope punch board. And I didn't know that when I bought it. I thought it was just like a scoreboard. And this little extra piece was with it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll use that for something. Not really realizing that it was, this is the notch that you punch out when you make the envelope. So if you look here, like there's little notches you punch out after you measure out your envelope. And then there's a corner rounder on the other side to kind of round your edges. But it was a happy little bonus. But I got these two together in Hobby Lobby, which I couldn't find on their website. You can try. But I did find one on Amazon that's very similar, and that is in the description box below. And you just look for an envelope punch board or mini envelope punch board, and yeah, you can find one to use yourself. All right, let's add a little ink. I'm gonna put that away. We'll put this guy away for a minute. Everybody back in the pool. Don't need you out either. And then I'll go get some vellum. I'm not going to glue this yet because I might want to sew it quick. See how it looks here. Because I do like to sew. If you don't want to watch me ink, you can just tap, 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 fast forward ahead. Just want to get a little ink on here. And then I'll grab a piece of vellum. And I have some scraps. That might work. Or maybe I want it a little taller. See, I don't want to lose that image. All right, so maybe we'll make a short one on this side and then a tall one on the other side. And that way I can use up this scrap. Here. And I need some 1/4 inch double-sided. Let me just cut this off where I need it. And I am also going to put a little notch in this and ink it. And I think I'll sew, yeah, actually, maybe instead of using the double-sided tape, I can just sew this as I sew, because I want to sew around this. So I'll just take a little Oohoo glue. Because if I put the double-sided tape and try to put it through my machine, it's going to get sticky. My needle will get sticky. So if I just tack it down with this, then I can kind of sew it and hold it in place that way. And then on this side, I think I want to do a taller pocket, and I'm also going to sew. Not quite that tall. Is this as wide? Ooh, I might get away with that. It doesn't go all the way to the edge though, and that will bother me. So, let's figure out what we need. Just cut this down. Good, good. And then I'm just going to take a hair off of that so it's a little lower. And notch. And ink. And now if you wanted, and you're going to do something similar to this, what you could do is print the same image on a piece of vellum and then cut it out to match and lay over so that the images line up, and then you would have, you know, kind of like a frosted look of the same image on your vellum. I didn't think that far ahead, obviously. So, yeah, we didn't get to do that here. But let me tack this too. And then I will run this through my machine, which has a little bit of a dark thread in it, but that's okay, I don't mind. And then I will be right back. Okay, so we did some sewing, and now we're just gonna glue it down. It's not super perfect sewing, mine never is. If yours is, I commend you, but mine always leaves a little something to be desired, which is probably why I'm not a seamstress. And instead I make junk journals and folios and fun paper crafts. So it's an old sewing machine and I only use it for paper, so it's probably not, you know, in its top notch shape. All right, so this is gonna have to dry. I just need a couple of clamps. But I thought this would be kind of ideal to hold some extra bits. Doesn't want to hold because of the string mainly. It'll stick eventually, so we'll just put that off to the side. But this I thought would be a great place to kind of put these little tabs, and then you can just kind of reach in and, you know, if you can't stick your finger all the way down there, you can just kind of do one of these and they'll fall out. I don't know, that's kind of cute. And then we could put a little something on there, like a little decoration, a decor. We've got this guy. We've got this guy. This guy might go on the other side well. Like that. That's pretty. Let's do that. We'll do some stacking, which is kind of how I intended everything in this ephemera bundle, is to kind of be able to layer them. So we'll find a little something else here too. It's got lots of little frames and bits, and got an envelope here. Kind of can even do something like that. That would be fun. I have a wax seal. Yeah, all right, let's put this down. I don't know how this, what is it? Barely art. Okay, I keep wanting to say berry. How it holds with vellum. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm sure I'll find out right now, but then it'll be too late. But I'd love to hear your take on it. Maybe I'll put it over here. I don't know why. I just got drawn to that side. And then I have this envelope. I have a smaller one too, I think. There's a bigger one. Here, this one's a little smaller. I think that fits better. Like that. And these, it's not a real envelope, you know, it's a fussy cut. So we're not gonna put anything in it. And put it off to the side though. I'm sure you guys will come up with so many fun ways to decorate yours. Like that. And then I have buttons and wax seals. These are too matchy-matchy. I have this A. Yeah, A for what? A for awesome, because you're all awesome. Yes, you are. And maybe you could drop a piece of lace. I don't know. You can go to town. All right, are you guys? We held. Yeah, I think we're good. We're not going to test it too heavily, that's for sure, because you know how that goes. If you've been here, you know. So, I guess those, will those fit? Yeah, maybe one. I have an extra one of those in there. We could put, like, you know, some of these ephemera bits and stuff in this one back here. You know, if you just, like, you're wrapped up and you want to kind of shut down for the night, you could kind of stuff these in there or whatever. You could also put some of the tags in there. We have those extra tags. So we could also, and I should probably put a cap on my glue. So let's see, we could put one of these in here too, like that. So lots of fun things you can do. You know, and you can even build on the back here. I mean, there's so many pretty pieces. So we could draw in some lines. Maybe. I love these micron pens, but I have so many of them. I don't know which ones work well and which ones do not. Yeah, so let's just draw some wonky lines for journaling or doodling or whatever you want to do. You do you. I like when they're not even. And then we could take even something like this. That would be nice. We can use one of our tabs on the top of it too. What else do we have that's smaller? So many bits. These little buttons. Looking for something darker. Here we go. Can do that. I know I am kind of covering up those lines I just drew, but you know, it's always playing. We're just playing. What are you? Oh, you're a fun tag too. Let's see what else. So many bits. Half of the fun is going through them and finding something fun. This one's cool. Looks like a wax seal starburst button thing. Why don't we do that? You know, you can make it another tuck. Put another card and a card and a card. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't give you a lot of words, but we all have words, so you could put a word on there if you wanted to. I think that's good for now. How how would this look? Or kind of like this one, even though it's very like white, lighter in contrast. I can put a little button on this also. Have this little guy. I can just do this. How fun. And then we can glue this on. That's why I like all the little bits, because you can kind of just have fun stacking stuff. Want it on this side? Yeah, there's buttons on that side already. So that could go in here too. Or back there. But, I think little bits of ephemera in here. I might want to open it up just a little. So my trick with this, with paper and vellum, hopefully this won't fail miserably, is to just kind of put your bone folder in there. And you don't want to be aggressive, but you just want to kind of, you know how after you use something a number of times, it just kind of works itself out? Well, that's what you're trying to mimic here. You don't want to go crazy, but you want to make it a little easier to get stuff in and out of there. There we go. Better. No, that's too big. Got like this jar, maybe this label. You get the idea. Okay. So that's fun. And I thought that could float around. So it can go here, you know, it could go on inside here. Or when you have this closed, it could even sit there. And it should still close up good. It might be a little tight, a little tight. Oh, I know what made it a little tighter, those tabs. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting. Well, that's a fail. Don't do that. I wonder if I'm gonna have to cut them now. Darn it. All right. Trying to think if there's a solution here before I go doing that. You know, it's not too terribly bad, so I don't think I'm going to do anything. I'm going to leave them, but you may want to second guess it, so I'll leave that up to you. I could trim them slightly. That just seemed, all right, let's, oh, my stomach is growling. Sorry about that. All these noises. All right, let's see if this works. Let me just trim them a little. Can I? She says with great confidence, but then doesn't. Wow, it is really hard to cut around a corner at that angle. So I'm gonna have to turn it around. I'm right-handed, so. There's always a solution. It may not be the best solution, but there's always a solution. Come on. It just looks more worn. That looks terrible. Not even a straight line. I'm like the queen of crooked lines. There we go. I think this will be fine. This will be fine. Yes, I could have taken them out. I know. I could have done a lot of things. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Man. I hope there's never like some kind of, you know, test where you get to, you know, keep your driver's license as long as you can cut a straight line. Because maybe that should be a test. An agility test. Can't cut a straight line. How do we expect you to drive straight? I'm going to tear something and then I'm going to be mad. All right, look, it's not perfect, but it's a solution. Actually, I made it my own, right? Let's see if it worked. Yeah, it's a little better. Yep, it did. That worked. Okay, so something to consider, you know. Do as I say, not as I do. Where is the cat to my glue? The age-old question. Where is the top to my glue? This pen came with this. It came with two tops. There's another top and then like something I can put on it to close it, but I can't imagine ever doing that. All right, so we made a little, you know, a little fun little thing that we can do that. All right, what else do we want to do? What about a notepad that we can kind of take out too? I think that would be handy. Like here, and then you can kind of also jot stuff down since it is a planning journal. We have a bunch of paper and scraps and stuff, so we could make something pretty. I think I'll use a piece of this. And then I'll dig through my tea-dyed paper scraps. I'm gonna make a scrappy little notebook. I want it thin because I'm gonna maybe put it on with a belly band, possibly. Maybe. We shall see. So that's the theory. The top, I want to kind of make it like a tab. So I will take one of these tabs and do it with that. Oh my goodness, I'm so losing my voice. So if you're new here, I usually do not sound like this. So that's my thinking like that. All right, and then I will just maybe stencil this. This popped out, we'll use this. You do whatever you want to do. These are Temu, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to use my vintage photo. Just kind of give it some color. It's a little too stark white for me. Maybe you like that. Maybe you want to leave it that way. Actually, I'm not going to see the top. And then I have one of those fancy Tim Holtz glass boards, but I can't really use it here on the channel because it glares so bad with the ring lights that I can't. You guys would be like, ah! Be like shining the flashlight in your face all the time. All right, so let's round this. It'll be a removable one, so we'll ink the back also because we'll see that. And then I think I was going to put a tab on the front, but you know what? I think I have a better idea. I think I'll use this, and I can notch it and then make a little tab that way. And just cut it off. If I could just make a straight cut. Okay. You go there. So that'll give us a fun little like tab. And then we'll get some paper and put that in there. And then we'll attach it with a belly band. What do you think? Gosh, I hope I have enough scraps. Yeah. All right, this we can do with the ruler. Oops, sorry, I think I hit you there. Sorry if I made you wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. I don't want them to be perfect, so they won't be. That can go. That one's a little too thick. Apparently I can't tear a straight line either, so maybe a little graph paper. That's fun. And we have these pieces. You know, just a little scrappy notebook. What else is in here? There's some pink. Why not? Got a little piece of this. Ooh, I like that side better. Oh, then I was doing it right. Good. Flip this around. Okay, let's line these all up. A few in the back. That's hanging over too much. And so I'm just going to sew across this with my machine. My machine will go through that. Yours may not, so be careful. I only use my machine, this particular machine, for paper. So, you know, something to be considered. I don't want you to ruin your sewing machine. Okay, so I just did a little zigzag stitch there. Like that, and then I will glue this in. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 or Fabrifix. You could staple it too. I just prefer to do this method, but or you could just, you know, kind of put it in here and then sew it. Up to you. This is just my preferred method. All right, let me put this back. All right, and that gives us a little room at the top there to put a little decor. And this is pretty. That might look better over there. Yes, what else do we got? So many pieces. So many. Oh. No, I don't want to dig out those stamps. I have stamps that are like, I'll have to dig them out for the next one. They're like months of the year. And so I could, you know, kind of stamp January on here and then, but I'm not doing that now. Was there anything else? Anything? This one's pretty too. I think I'm just going to go with this one. Maybe a piece of lace, like a scrappy piece of lace. Okay. I was sitting there for a minute going, where did I put all my stuff? Because I had to change my, like this was like right in front of me for the longest time. And, excuse me. I'm like, where did I put it? There's always lace in here. So. Just take a little piece of this. cut it and then see what I want to do with it. You can hardly see the lace there. All right, well, maybe lace isn't the best option. It's fine, just do that. Okay, all right. Sometimes it doesn't have to be complex. All right, and now I just need to get it in here. So I'm gonna make a little belly band, maybe, out of something. Or I have these pockets too. Nah, I do want to make it a belly band. Do we have anything to stretch across? Oh yeah, we have this lace piece that I didn't use. This is one of the cover options. Just looking. Yeah, no, I'll just use a piece of this. All right, so it's got to be big enough so that I can put this in here and glue it down. So I have to be able to have glue on both sides and still room for it to slide in, and I just glued that to that. Oh no, because this isn't dry. Silly girl. Silly girl. All right, let's get that off of there. Good thing about the Fabrifix is you can come over it with a your finger or an eraser and just kind of take it out. Just makes it grungier. All right, let's use that because I want a strong bond in a little space. So I'm trying to keep it as far to the edges so that I have enough room for that to go and slide down. All right, and we're gonna let that dry, but then in theory, this will slide down. And then I can just tear off bits. I can put them behind some quotes if I find some quotes I wanna put in there, or I wanna do a stamp or anything at all. And when this is out, we have a spot there. So we have this beauty that kind of goes. So we'll put that down. A white poinsettia. Poinsettia. I'm sure there's some accent I should be saying it in that I'm not. Okay. I like that. Yeah, I just like that. It doesn't have to be anything else. I don't know why I'm looking around. Just do that. Oh, all right. You know what I'll do is I'll put some sparklies on there. I had this out on my live yesterday. So let's see, will this work? Oh yeah. All right, let's put you back in your glue. And so I'll just add a little sparkle in the center here. And now obviously I can't close this up because it'll smear and glue itself to the page. So we'll leave that open. But actually, I think we did a lot. I made some mistakes along the way. It's fine. We all do. But just some ideas for you. And then you can take it and run with it. I really like this idea. I might actually make one of these in some of my other journals because it's like handy. Make a couple. But yeah, that's our make today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you don't already. Say hello down in the comments, and if you didn't get your kit, go into the description box and grab your free December Folio kit. And I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully without all this going on. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.
In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats. Ink stained hands and scraps galore. Meeting friends as we explore.